Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, welcome. I'm Jennifer and this is my channel. I am on a weight loss journey. I am currently using keto to lose the weight, and I have successfully lost about 35 pounds with keto, and I'm down close to 70 pounds this year in total. So this video is going to cover a few things. I'm going to show you what I ate yesterday, which was Sunday. I'm going to show you my weigh-in from this morning. I'm going to answer a question, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what I've been learning about myself and my body through keto. Alright, sorry about that pause. I had a cat walking behind me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the question first, and then we'll move on from there. So on Saturday I posted a video, a question and answer video. I had asked people on Instagram if they had any questions for me to post them in the comments, and then I would answer them. And I had a couple people tell me that, well, I had one person tell me that they didn't have Instagram and they wanted to ask a question. And I told them to go ahead and ask it here on YouTube, and I would answer it in my next video. And this is my next video, so I'm going to answer it for them. And that question came from Garrick. I'm friends with him on Facebook as well as here on YouTube, and his name is PSE Mentalist. And Garrick wanted to know why I decided to jump on the keto bandwagon. I guess there's only one explanation or one reason why, is because I had tried everything else, most everything else, and nothing was working for me. And I figured keto was something that I hadn't tried, and I would go ahead and try it. I had gotten to the point where I was becoming exhausted with nothing working for me. I know that I didn't always try my hardest, and I didn't put in 100% of myself in everything that I tried, because I believe that there's no one cookie cutter diet that will work for everyone. Everyone's body is different. Everyone has different needs and ways that they look at food or way they eat food. So for me, no matter what diet or food plan I have ever been on in my whole entire life, I've been on Weight Watchers, I've been on Jenny Craig, I've done just counting calories, you name them, Slim Fast I've done so many different diets that I can't even tell you. And no matter what it's been, I've always still felt hungry after I ate. Even when I wasn't dieting or trying to lose weight, even when I would binge, which is half of the problem of why I gained so much weight. Not the entire problem, but half of the problem was because I would binge, and normally you would think, well, you would feel full from that binge for a while, but not me. I would binge, and then maybe 4 hours later, I would be hungry again, so I would binge again. And it was a never-ending cycle. And the same thing happened when I was counting calories or on any of those food plans. I would eat, and then I would still feel hungry. And feeling that hungry and famished all the time was a setup to be, just a setup for failure, to be doomed. Because then it would set me up to want to binge, which didn't help anyhow. But it was a never-ending cycle, and it was becoming so tiring, and I was at the end of my rope, and I didn't know what else to do. I don't know exactly how I came to decide that keto was something that I wanted to try. As many of you know, I have been against it for a long time. A lot of people in my comments had suggested it for the past year, and I was like, oh no, I could never do that. That's a horrible thing. Why would anyone want to do keto? And I didn't understand it. I had even left a comment, I think it was to Nasine, Keto Mama, in one of her videos, and it wasn't to be mean, it was just because I didn't understand. I asked her, wasn't she concerned about all the cholesterol, her cholesterol, with all the meat and fat she's eating? And now that I understand that's not an issue, but I was just against it because I didn't understand it. I believe that God was pointing me in the direction I was supposed to go, into the path that He wanted me to be on. And just at that time, I somehow, and I don't even remember how, stumbled upon Keto Diamond's channel, and she had a playlist and she has a website. It tells you the basics of how to start keto. You don't need any kind of special powders, potions, liquids. Yes, there are all these really cool keto foods like almond flour. I didn't have almond flour when I first started. Like shakes and the erythritol and all those kinds of neat keto things that you can use. I didn't have any of that, and I didn't start with that. I just started with the basics of eggs, cheese, meat, and just cut out the carbs. And if it wasn't for her channel, Keto Diamond, and for her website explaining it all, and it just like clicked in my head, like, oh, I can do this, it's okay. I've never been that like a big fan of meat, and learning to eat more meat has been a challenge. The only meat I actually liked is when I would go out and have a cheeseburger, or I would eat chicken. But chicken is okay to eat on keto, but you need more fattier cuts of meat like red meats. Anyhow, that's getting off track, but it's been an adjustment because as well as the meat, I'm not a big egg eater usually, and eating more eggs has been a learning process for me. I do, however, like my eggs in my chaffles, and those are okay. But as far as just eating eggs, like deviled eggs are okay, and scrambled eggs are okay, but as far as like dippy eggs or fried eggs, or just crunching into a hard-boiled egg, I can't do. But anyhow, I'm rambling. If it wasn't for her website and for her videos and for her helping me, I messaged her quite a few times on Facebook and asked her questions. And then even when I started keto, when I got into ketosis, then when I got sick and went to the hospital and stopped doing ketosis because I listened to what a couple medical professionals like a doctor and a nurse told me that weren't informed about keto, that I shouldn't be doing keto and it's dangerous for your kidneys. And then I come to find out it really doesn't have anything to do with your kidneys, it's more or less your liver. That if I hadn't have messaged her and she reassured me and she shared with me what she knew and shared with me the links to where she found this information and the studies, and then I started doing some of my own research, I would not have stuck with keto as long as I have, and I wouldn't have understood it, and I wouldn't love it as much as I do. It's definitely a wonderful lifestyle. Somebody in the comments the other day when I posted the question and answer video, I had said something in my question and answer video about why wouldn't you love to be able to eat meat and cheese and eggs and all that kind of stuff and still lose weight. And somebody in the comments, I don't know if they actually were accusing or if it was like meant badly or if it was just a question, but they asked if this was the only reason I was on keto is because I could still kind of binge and eat whatever I wanted. You can't just go crazy on keto and eat an unlimited amount of calories. You still have to count your calories. Well, I guess some people don't, but I count my calories, I count my carbs, I keep it all with my carb manager app. So it's not an excuse for anything, it's just, it really works. After the first week I was no longer craving foods, like my carby foods. I still look at a food and I'm like, oh, I wish I could have that. But it's not the actual craving of the food like I had before. Then after you do get into ketosis, you're just rarely ever hungry anymore. Like yesterday, you'll see I had breakfast around 9:30. I didn't eat till around 9 o'clock. It was about 8:30, 9 o'clock last night. And that was a good almost 12 hours of fasting in between that I just wasn't hungry. And some days it's like that. Some days I'm hungrier than others. It just depends, but I'm never famished, and I never walk around with that hungry feeling like when I'm on other diets, and it just works. And I come to the point in my life where losing weight is a must for me. It's not an option. It's I have to or I'm going to die. So keto saved my life. Literally is in the process of saving my life. So that's why I chose keto, and that's why I decided to jump on the keto bandwagon. A lot of people are doing keto. Like I mentioned in one of my other videos, my doctor, she said one of the other doctors at the practice, they used keto and they lost 75 pounds with it and then went back to normal eating. Probably for me, I'll always have to follow a ketogenic diet because I do have tendencies to be a compulsive overeater and binge addict. So being on keto will probably be beneficial for me long term. That doesn't mean that I'll never be able to have something, but for the majority of my time, I'm going to keep sticking with keto because it's working for me. So that answers that question. If anybody else has any other questions, you can leave them in the comments and I'll try to answer them in the next video. Try to answer a couple questions every day depending on how many I get. Alright, so let's move on to my weigh-in, and then I'll tell you a little bit about what I've been learning on keto, what happened over the weekend, or what I learned from it, and then I'll show you what I ate, and then that will be it for today. So I forget the last weigh-in that I showed you guys. I forget. I know I've updated my information in the descriptions, but I can't remember what the last weigh-in that I showed you was. So I'm just going to remind you of my weights, and then I'll just show you what today's weigh-in is. So my highest recorded weight that I saw this year in 2019 was 582.5, I believe. Then in June, the second week of June, I was 571. And then on July 31st, my second restart of keto, I was 552 pounds. And then today when I weighed in, this was my weight.
Hello. It's ready. £516.6 pounds.
Alright, so as of this morning, I am 516.6, and that is officially 36 pounds down using keto since the end of July. It has not been perfect, but I have stuck with it, and I am very happy with my weight loss so far. Yeah, I could have lost more. I could have done better, but it's life, it's a journey, and I'm losing, and I am extremely proud of myself and happy with my success so far. I'm going to, oh, that's another thing. Okay, this is one of the reasons why I'm making this video. Guys, this is actually the second time I've tried to make this video because I haven't been sleeping very well. And I tried this morning to make this video, but my eyes were like drooping closed, and when I played back the video, I was like, I can't post this video because I look like I'm hungover. So now that I'm more awake, I got my shower and it's like almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm pretty much awake, and I'm trying to stay awake so I can actually sleep tonight. So now that I'm actually awake, that's why I'm doing the video again. But I forgot one of the reasons why I'm here is to tell you about one of my end of the summer goals. I don't know if I mentioned it in a video. I think I did at one point, but I know I posted about it on Facebook. One of my goals I wanted to hit by the end of summer was to fit into a pair of pants that I have not fit into in 6, almost 7 years. And those were a pair of pants. They're not stretchy pants, they're just cotton pants. They're like pajama lounge pants. They're plaid. They're pretty ugly, but they were my favorite pants 6, 7 years ago, and I used to wear them all the time, and then I outgrew them. I hadn't worn them in a while, and then I went to put them on, and they wouldn't even go up around my hips. And I was like, oh, this is not good. And as with most of the things in my life, for most of my life, when I didn't want to deal with them, I didn't deal. I just put it away, didn't look at it, didn't think about it, and it wasn't a problem anymore. I know that that's not healthy, but that's how I was raised on my dad's side of the family. My dad That's how I learned to cope with things. So I balled them up, threw them in the back of my closet, and that was that. So earlier in the year, when I was cleaning out my closets, I found them and I tried them on at the beginning. Well, it was a little bit before the beginning of summer. It was actually in the late spring. And I decided that my goal was to be able to fit into those pants by the end of summer. So yesterday was the last day of summer. Today's the first day of fall, so happy fall to everybody. So I tried those pants on again. I actually tried them on a little early and they fit, but I wanted to do an official body shot of them. Now you're not going to be able to see like my whole body because I was holding the camera wrong and I still haven't got, you would think by now I would get the grip of how to make a video, but apparently I don't know how to make a video yet. So I'll be posting the pictures themselves on my Instagram account, so if you want to see like the whole me, like from head to toe me, I'm going to show like from my mid chest down so you can see my body. Comparison of the last body shot that I posted to today, or well, last night actually. I'm going to show you those here in a second, but if you want to see the entire ones and if you want to see some additional pictures of body shots, you can go to my Instagram account, and my Instagram is Jennifer Gwen Ann, and that is my name. And you can, but you'll find it, there's underscores in that, but my name will be in the description below under my social media accounts, and then you can see all the pictures that I took last night there. So without further ado, let me show you the pants, and they fit. So as you can see, they totally fit with room to spare, a good bit of room to spare. They were starting to fall down a little bit. And then you can see my side-by-side pictures from the last, I think it was around April at my heaviest, and then the ones taken last night. I can really start to see a difference in my body. I don't know if some of other people around my building have started to notice. My cousin can notice. A few people have started to notice my weight loss, and I can notice it. So, especially in my upper body, it's kind of hard to tell where my stomach is. Like I've said before, I carry a bulk of my weight in my apron area, and I had black pants on in the first picture, so it's kind of hard to see where my stomach was in that picture because it all just kind of blended into one. But I can definitely see, because I know where my stomach was. The bottom part, the apron part of my stomach is not near as bloated and big as it was. And then definitely the top of me has gotten slimmed down quite a bit. So very excited about that and to share it with you guys. I don't like taking pictures of my full length body, but I do think it's important because it is motivation to keep moving forward. And I'm going to do that maybe every 3 months, take body shots. So again, in 3 months, we'll see what I look like and how much I've changed in 3 months. So the last little thing I want to talk about before I share my food with you guys, what I had on Sunday. There wasn't much because I only had 2 meals, but was something I learned over the weekend. I have been on and off testing my state of ketosis with urine strips. I ordered a Keto Mojo this morning, so it will be here tomorrow, I think tomorrow or Wednesday. So I'm going to do a live keto test with you guys, my blood test for the first time on one of those. But I've been testing with the urine strips this far, and Friday evening when I tested my ketone levels, and I know that the urine strips aren't completely accurate, as accurate as the blood strips. But when I tested, the minute I stuck it in the urine, it changed, and I was in moderate ketosis. Then Saturday, I was craving chili so bad. I haven't had chili in forever. And I know I can't have beans, so I decided to make a beanless chili. I used ground beef, onion, garlic, and then I used sauce. It was the Hunt's no sugar added spaghetti sauce. And even though there was no sugar added, it still had 4 grams of carbs for, I want to say half a cup, a quarter of a cup, I'm not sure. But I think all in all, I used 2 cups of sauce about. So I was definitely over in my carbs on Saturday, and I was kind of bummed about that. And I was afraid that, I mean, I knew what I was doing, so I wasn't that bummed because I knew what I was doing. But I was just really afraid that it was going to knock me out of ketosis because I had too many carbs. Luckily, but unluckily, Saturday evening when I speak right, Jennifer. Saturday evening when I checked my ketones again, they were trace. So I did knock myself down quite a bit from being instantly moderate on Friday evening, and then Saturday evening it was just a trace. Luckily Sunday when I checked again, I was back to moderate and it didn't affect me too bad, thank goodness. But I will tell you, from Saturday evening from Saturday to Sunday, I gained like 0.6 pounds on that day, so I'm guessing it was water weight, or I was retaining something from too many carbs, I'm guessing. But then this morning it was back down and I had lost an additional pound. So all in all, it was okay, but now I'm learning that what extra carbs and what my body's going to do and what's going to happen if I have too many carbs. So it's always a good learning experience. It's not something that I want to keep doing because I don't want to mess with what's working. But I'm glad to know what I can and can't have. So I think in the future, the Hunt's no sugar added spaghetti sauce is just going to be a no-go for me. Today I made pizza chaffles, and instead of using that spaghetti sauce, I used some of the G. Hughes sugar-free barbecue sauce on the chaffle as a kind of like a sauce, and that was pretty good. So definitely no more spaghetti sauce in my future. So I think that's all I have to share with you guys now that I've been rambling for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So I'm going to insert I'll show you the clips of what I ate yesterday, and then at the end of that you'll see how many carbs, calories, etc. that I had, and then I will see you back again tomorrow or the next day for another video. I hope you guys have a good Monday. Be the love, be the light, and do good things. Bye everyone. Alright guys, it is 9:37 a.m. I normally do not eat breakfast this early or eat anything this early, but as I probably told you in the clip before this, I did not sleep well last night and I have been up pretty much all night. So I'm hungry now and I'm going to eat. So what I'm having is a bacon, egg, and cheese chaffle. Let's see if you can see the egg. I hard fried my egg with a little bit of mozzarella, just a sprinkling, and then 2 slices of bacon on the chaffle, and then I have 2 on the side, and then I have a half of an avocado with just salt and pepper, and I'm going to have my water, and that's what I'm eating first today. It's now 8:29 p.m. and I'm having my second meal of the day. That first meal kept me full the entire day. I'm not actually very hungry right now. I'm a little hungry, but not starving. But I am going to have something. This isn't the neatest of plates, but it is my dinner. So I'm going to have a serving of Brussels sprouts. These were left over from last night's dinner. They are the Steam Fresh Green Giant. They're steamed with sea salt and cracked pepper, I think it said. And then I'm having 2 hamburger patties with a slice of Munster cheese on each. And then I took the other half of my avocado that I had for breakfast, and I mushed it up with a tablespoon of Duke's mayo, and then I just put half and half on each burger. I'm also going to have a Coke Zero and then my water. And that will be all for this evening.